sitting in our completely transformed living room space. So I talked about this last week, but we found floors on Facebook Marketplace and we had them installed by a contractor 2 weeks ago. And my parents just finished putting in all of the baseboards, doing all the painting and the caulking and all the details. It looks so beautiful. So today I'm going to show you the whole process. I actually have to take you back to an entire year ago when we found these floors on Marketplace. It's been a year. These have been sitting on our patio. So I have a lot to share in this video. I've learned a lot about design decisions through this process. There's been some mistakes, some hiccups, some things that we did not expect to be uncovered when we took up the old flooring. So I have a lot to share in this video. Let's dive into it. If you are new here, my name is Emily, and on this channel, I have been sharing for the past year our home renovations in this 1970s fixer-upper. So I hope that you all enjoy this DIY video, and the final reveal is just so good. So make sure that you stick around. Let's get into it. Okay, the lighting out here is just like non-existent, but I have to record this because this is insanity. It's 10 p.m. and we have to unload all of this tile. Dominic is still writing his notes so that his patients get orders, get their medicines. And so I'm gonna start moving all this. Our neighbors must think we are insane.
I looked back at the dates of that clip, and that was 3 nights after we moved ourselves and our 2 young kids into this home. So yeah, we really might be insane, but that's just the way things go when you are finding stuff on Marketplace. You gotta act fast, and getting all of them took 4 separate trips in our minivan. So I'll share more about this steal of a deal we got on these Saltillo tiles and the literal mansion that we got them from. But here they sat on our patio for almost a year until this past January when we were finally ready to make the magic happen. My parents sealed these tiles and then hired a contractor to install them after that. So these tiles are very special because each of them is unique, handmade, and authentically created with Saltillo clay from Saltillo, Mexico. Since the clay is a porous material, these were unsealed when we purchased them. We needed to go in and give them a good clean, so the boys helped with that part, and then my parents sealed them so that the grout and the mortar that the contractor would use wouldn't stain them, and we would keep the beautiful integrity of these natural tiles. Being 7 months pregnant, I was able to conveniently get out of sealing and lifting all of these tiles, but I do know how backbreaking this work is, as I did the ones that we bought new for our bathroom almost a year ago. So I'm so grateful for my parents putting in the sweat on this job. This tile is going not just in the living room, dining room area, but also outside where we have this entryway that is currently covered in carpet. This has been there since we moved in, and I couldn't take it up because it had that nasty glue under there. So the tile will start out there in one pattern, and then we'll switch to a different pattern in this landing area, and then a different pattern throughout the living room and the dining room, just based on the tiles that we were able to salvage. I want to give you guys a good before shot of all of these spaces, as well as the problems that we have with the current flooring. So let's do that now.
I thought I would give you a before shot of where we're starting. Don't mind the noise from the corner. Benji is playing. We just got his birthday party cleaned up from last week. So we have a clear slate, but I'm about to start taking apart all of the decorations in here so that we can clear it out so we can do the flooring. But let me show you where we start. I actually need to start outside because here we have carpet, and this is going to be replaced with the same tile that we have going into there. We're also going to do a little decorative tile down here that I'll show you in a bit. And then when you come into here, we're gonna have a different pattern going on here. I think these are the smaller ones in here. And then, yep, small. And then all of this will be done up until there. That's where our cork flooring starts. We have a little threshold, like a little drop down here. And so that's where decorative tile will be done as well. No, that's not a good idea. We're not going to climb it. Eventually, we do want to overgrout this and do like a German smear technique. But yeah, currently, that's just exactly how it was when we moved in. It is cool, though. The boys like to think of it as a climbing wall, but they haven't done it yet, thankfully. Right, and then here's our living room, our formal living room. Oh, you closed the window. Okay, thank you. And so all of this is kind of like a linoleum wood. It's glue down. So I'll show you over on that side where it has a lot of bubbles in it because it's a little bit old. And then this wraps around the corner into our dining room. And so once you go over here, we have our dining room, and then the patio is that way, kitchen and bedroom, master bedroom there. You can kind of see the bubbles here on the floor. You can feel them when you're walking over them. I think they've gotten worse since we've moved in. It is so echoey in here, but look at that. There's our before shot. We just need to take down the curtains and then everything else is cleared out. You want to see where? It's Dominic taking down the curtains. Thank you, love. And then in here, in our master bedroom, is where all of our stuff is for the entire living room and dining rooms. It just makes you realize how much white and wood furniture you have, because that is all I have, and how many books I have. Got our couches over here. I took off the slip covers. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to clean them. And then I've got our dining table in our bathroom. This is a mess. This really brings back flashbacks of when we moved in. But when we moved in, we also didn't have a light fixture, either of these. It was super dark in here, and we didn't have curtains, so there was like no privacy at all. So we're gonna turn off these lights real quick, but this is the last look at the floors and the baseboards. I'm so excited about those. So those are all gonna be much thicker. So bye-bye floors.
If you've been following along, you know that our family has taken on a lot of the DIY projects in this home, but these tiles are really hard to install due to their variations in size, and so master set tile was an absolute joy to work with.
Have you really? Wow. That looks great.
They got all of the demo done in the first day and even installed some of the tiles, which was shocking to me how quickly they were able to move. And then I think that they got the rest of the tiles done the following day.
Benji,
we stayed home a little bit more than normal, so we made some homemade granola. It was delicious. Benji was a great little helper. And since they were moving so quickly, there was a bit of a surprise project that we added on, so make sure you stick around to see that one.
Honey, thank you. All right, they finished this morning, and I'm just worried that a package person is going to come and walk on it. So I put that sign there, but look how amazing. We also have plans we did change this light recently. My dad changed that so that it actually works. And then this door, we actually want to paint to look like wood. There's products that you can use that look like wood, would look a lot better with this. And then eventually changing the color of the house. Not that we don't love pink, but...
Here's what you have to resort to when you realize that you forgot to lock your door while they were tiling. Thankfully, Dominic was able to get it done.
I think that's got to be locked. Yeah, that's good. There you go. Good job, babe. Okay. All right. Thank you, Benji. Wow. Echo. Yes, echo. All right, so it is very echoey in here. But they have finished all of this. I'm still scared to walk on it, but I guess I technically could. But look at it in the light. So beautiful.
Now you're about to see the grout really transform this tile, but now that you're starting to see a little bit of what this tile looks like, I wanted to put some pictures of inspiration on the screen and also show the cost per square foot of this type of tile. This is not cheap tile, but like I mentioned, we did get a steal of a deal on this. So instead of paying that $11, we spent around $1 per square foot.
So you know when you're going through a very chaotic time of life, and I know there's so much background noise in here because this is construction for you. You know, chaos like moving half of your house to the other side of the house so we can get new floors. Well, why not make it more chaotic? We're gonna now do this laundry room floor. Here's the before. This is the original linoleum, and it is super stained, and I mean, it's like filthy right now because we've been tracking everything in through this door. And so, yeah, I just emptied out this cabinet and put it into boxes, and that's all. I won't even show you. It's all in our family room, and I'm doing one last load of laundry. This idea was all thrown out this morning when we realized we had a lot of extra tiles, and so this was something we eventually wanted to do, but it wasn't planned during this renovation, but they're just gonna be able to tack it on because they've been running ahead of schedule, so they have time for it, but they're setting tile today, so that's why like cramming, finish a load of laundry so that we can survive, and then get all of this cleaned up.
So if you saw my thrifted and free laundry room makeover, then you already saw the flooring come together in this room. But if you missed it, make sure that you go check it out because that makeover was a really fun one and it turned out beautiful. But they got the flooring out and the tiles installed real fast. Wow, look at that, Benji. Wow, we were just sitting there. They did all of this. It was really fast. It was like 1 hour.
I just got home from the antique mall, which I'll show you guys at some point. You might have already seen it. But look what they did. They just grouted everything. Everything is done except for sealing it, which they're gonna do tomorrow. And then we'll be done. Alright, Chris and Billy are about to get here and they're going to seal it. And then it has to wait 72 hours. We have to wait 72 hours to put our furniture back, so we'll be running around a little bit because you can walk on it after 24 hours, but it's almost done.
So this was the following morning after they had grouted everything, and you can kind of tell how everything just looks a little bit dull, and that is the grout haze that is typical with any tiling after you apply that grout and wipe it off. But you will see in just a minute how the seal really transforms the look of these tiles. For Saltillo tiles, you can either seal them with an oil-based sealer or a water-based sealer. We went with the water-based sealer, which gives it a lighter look, but also has a lower VOC. Tell me you're in the middle of a remodel without telling me you're in the middle of a remodel. It's too stinky inside, so cooking outside today. One of the reasons that Saltillo tile is popular is because it is an ultra low VOC option for flooring. Some of the flooring used today, like LVP, luxury vinyl plank, can offer a lot of VOCs, which can be harmful to kids and, I mean, all people. The stinkiness cleared out real quick and we were back in the house within a few hours and able to walk on them in 24 hours. Before this transformation can be complete, we still have to do all of the baseboards in here, which made the biggest difference, and bring back all of our furniture, of course. Wow. Something I didn't realize and think about before with the design perspective on these tiles is how the reflective properties would actually help brighten our room. So we usually get really beautiful light in here, but it has been made 100 times better with the reflection from the floor. We have 8-foot ceilings, but the reflection from the floor I think helps make the ceilings feel even taller, as well as, of course, the curtains hung really nice and high always helps too. Now we are about to discover a problem. You might be seeing a little sneak peek of what that problem is. And we will get to fixing that in this video as well. But I absolutely love how the blue in this rug picks up in the pink of these tiles, and it gives it nice contrast. I gotta admit, I did plan that when ordering this rug. Since we have had these floors on our porch for so long, I have made a lot of the design decisions for our living room based on what the floors will eventually be. About a week later, my parents came into town and my dad installed all of our baseboards. This is a 5-inch baseboard. This one we had to take off because the pocket door was on the other side and the nails went directly into it. My dad figured out and fixed that problem, and then we discovered this problem. Well, it's a good thing it started raining because we realized water is coming in, but it is not coming in through the wall. It's coming in through the cement, which is through this column and that part. There's a hole up there, we think. So there's the hero of the day. Pop, pop. So the water that we discovered appears to have been not really a new problem, but one that was being covered up by the linoleum that was there. It wouldn't show any of the water that was coming in through the foundation, but we could definitely see it with these Saltillo tiles because they change color when they get wet. So my parents are saints and hard workers. They went outside and in the rain did some of this and then did some afterwards, fixing up the drainage so that it would flow better away from the house. There were a ton of roots that were just way too close to the house. And then also one of those columns had a hole in it that was a hole in the stucco and was leaking water directly into the cinder blocks. So they got all of that fixed up, thank goodness, and we are almost ready for our final reveal where I can show you the full space with the baseboards, the tile, and all of our furniture back in place. After my dad installed the baseboards as well as a piece of cove molding on top, which I think is just the most beautiful combination for our transitional home, my mom went in and caulked and wood filled and painted all of these as well as the rest of the house. All right, guys, I am going to share the final reveal of this space. I'm so excited for you guys to see this. We've put everything back and it just feels like our home again. That was the last project. We're done, guys. We're taking a break. We're having a baby. And then we'll get back into DIYs later. Yes, I'm going to show you the final reveal, but I just wanted to ask you guys to like this video if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe to stick around. You can find me on Instagram at EEGarby if you want to see these projects come together like in real time. And let me know down below how you like this space. Let me remind you where we started in this space with our linoleum wood floors. Here is the final reveal. Looking back at clips for this video that were from an entire year ago reminded me of just how hard that season was and how far we have come in this home. If you have been around since we moved in, when we got these tiles, you might remember me talking a little bit about an identity crisis that I was going through, leaving my career to stay home with our boys, as well as transitioning to a new city further from friends and family. But thank God I had a group of friends who were able to remind me that my identity will never hinge upon what I am doing. A year out from our move and all of the transitions that took place during that season, I am so grateful for where we are today. I know that we are heading into another hard season, welcoming our third baby into our home, but I have faith that each of the valleys that we have walked through previously has strengthened us in trust, patience, and faith for such a time as this. I just wanted to share that in case you needed that reminder as I did today. Next week, I will be sharing a full house tour of the year of house projects that we have completed with a very special guest joining me. So make sure to come back for that one. And I hope that you all have a very blessed week. I thought it would be a great time to share some before and afters. Welcome.
You.